Here's our Buoy 10 update for Friday, August 28th. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through our report, and then I'm going to jump up on a soapbox, and then we're going to give a little word of caution. So first, the reports. Honestly, there's a ton of fish around here. The fishing was fantastic yesterday and today. Whether you're fishing above Tongue Point or around the bridge or all the way down in Oahu, the Red Line, Hammond, it doesn't matter. There were just fish everywhere, and there was a consistent bite all day long anywhere you went. So a lot of fun, great time. They're biting everything with spinners, herring, anchovies, deep, shallow, 8 feet on the line counters, 40 on the line counters. It didn't matter. It was just a lot of fun today. A little word of caution going into the weekend. Tomorrow they are expecting 40 to 70 mile an hour winds. I've already canceled my trip for tomorrow. And if you're planning to come down here this weekend, I would strongly urge you to not fish tomorrow. Sunday looks a little bit better with 10 to 20 mile an hour winds, but if you're unfamiliar with the area or have a small craft, I would suggest just looking for another weekend. It's just going to be some pretty nautical, pretty sporty conditions down here. A few weeks ago, when we had heavy winds, we actually had, I believe, 3 or 4 boats sink. So be careful. It's just a fish. Don't put in the effort or your time to go out here under bad conditions like that. To jump up on a little soapbox here, we got some pretty discouraging news last night saying that they're going to go ahead and close the retention of Chinook down here in the Buoy 10 area, which is from Buoy 10 itself up to Tongue Point. Of course, it's discouraging, but the reality is that this happens every year, and the reason why is because they give us an allotment for each section of the river as we go upstream. And once we catch our Chinook, we're done. And this can really be attributed to the great catching that we had in June, July. So there were a lot of people that were already down here on August 1st, when typically people don't show up until around August 15th. But the reality is that fishing is just awesome. We had a great time fishing here. And the reason why they only give us so many fish down here in this area is because they want to make sure to have fisheries further upstream for other anglers. Now, whether you agree with that or not is irrelevant. What's happened, happened. I'm getting a lot of phone calls and emails from clients and other people asking if it's worth it to come down here and fish. It absolutely is. This is still a phenomenal fishery. This is a great place to come down all the way through October to catch a lot of coho. And, it's a 15-minute ride down to where we've been catching fish down in Oahu here from Westmoreland Basin. Well, it's a 15-minute ride up above Tongue Point to go up there and catch any Chinook. So, whether you just are discouraged with the rule change or you just don't want to make the run up above Tongue Point, it's completely understandable. Trust me, there's a lot of people that are quite disappointed down here. But the reality is there's plenty of opportunity. There's a lot of places we can go. There's a ton of fish around, so we're going to be catching. Just be mindful of the weather. Now, I've also seen a lot of people here on the docks and in the restaurants and online, a lot of people complaining that the closure has happened. But, I guess this is my opinion, but what's disappointing for me is the lack of representation at a lot of the meetings that take place for these regulations and rule changes. So many people don't take the time to be a part of that process and then are very vocal about it when things don't go as expected. I personally equate that to complaining about the President of the United States, but you didn't vote. If you're not part of the process, then I feel you don't have the right to be, I don't want to say vindictive, but just be very vocal and aggressive when things don't go your way. So, love it or hate it, the reality is it's happened. So deal with it and understand that there's still a lot of great fishing to take place down here. And just be mindful of the weather this weekend. For me, I'm actually going to go and chase elk because this is the elk opener. And since weather's going to be a bit sporty, the clients wanted to reschedule. So I'm going to ditch the sea legs, grab the stick and string, and go out there and go chase after elk. I'll keep in touch with everyone and let you know how things are going down here when we get back out on the water. And maybe we'll do a few tech tips on these videos on getting gear ready for the rest of the season. So that's it here for us. I'm putting the boat on the trailer and grabbing the bow. Wish me luck. All right, later.